Hey, what's up? It's Jerad with Ditch Auto. Welcome to week 21 of the Photography Challenge. This week we're going to be focusing on something near and dear to all of our hearts, food. Food is something that people have been photographing for ages and definitely been photographing a lot more since social media has came into play. A lot of people share what they're eating on Instagram and stuff like that and even get creative and take photos. And to be honest, I do that sometimes too, especially if it's a meal that I want to remember. I may not share it to social media, but I'll take a picture of it and that way I have it. But one of the things that I often do is take a picture with my phone. And I don't even take really that good of a photo. I may just want to take a picture of something that I'm eating because I want to remember it. I want to geotag it so I remember the name of the place that I got and the location of the place that I got that meal at. But often I don't really get very creative with taking pictures of food. And it's odd because food is a really interesting thing. It tells a lot about, how we treat our bodies, what tastes good to us. I mean, there's lots of different things that go into our food and what that means to us. So this week, I want to focus on food and taking pictures of food, and this could be a meal that you create often. It could be a meal at your favorite restaurant. Maybe you want to get kind of crazy and build like a hamburger and make it look all fancy. This is totally your opportunity to mix in food with your photography and decide for yourself how you want to work that. Now, in my past photography years, I have had a couple of jobs that have required me to take pictures of food. It's just been a long time. I was looking back through the photos where I was actually hired to take pictures of food, and the last time I was hired to take pictures of food was 2009. I've been showing you some photos as some examples, and these are photos that I took a long time ago and even really show a little bit of where I was as a photographer. I wasn't as good at capturing solid focus. I was really into shooting at a wide aperture. Like I had lenses, that were f2.8 and maybe even a few that were a little wider. And I would shoot everything at f2.8 when sometimes you don't necessarily want to shoot at that wide of an aperture because you want more of your subject in focus. And sometimes that is a thing with food. You don't want just something at the very forefront of it to be in focus and then the fall off is drastic like you might want if you were trying to make a cool background for your photo. You might actually want to keep a little bit more of that meal in focus, which means maybe shooting at f6 or f8, and meaning you're going to have to put more light in. Maybe increase your ISO or take it outside or do whatever so that you can get more light on your meal or your food item. So this week's challenge, of course, is food, and I encourage you to think of a new creative way to capture the food around you. Of course, you can use a smartphone if you want. I know that some of my photos are definitely going to be smartphone photos that I've shown you in the example, and I'm going to challenge myself to try and take at least one or two food photos this week. I'm trying to eat a little bit better this week, so my meal photos that I share may be relatively tiny, but we'll see how that turns out. I think it's going to be fun, even regardless of what it is that we're eating, just to find a different way to capture it. And of course, come back to the Facebook group and share those photos together. Last week, our challenge was doing some retouching in post-production. So definitely take maybe some of the things that you tried there. Or last week, I did a tutorial as this video. And so you can even look into the tutorial and maybe try some of those tweaks that I did in Lightroom to adjust your photo for your food photo. One thing that I think is extremely important is color accuracy. And so especially when you're working with food items, if there's cheddar cheese, you want that orange to pop. If there's a tomato, you want that red to pop. So you just want to make sure that your color is very accurate when it comes to shooting food photography. So make sure to head on over to the Facebook group for the Ditch Auto group here, which is the link below. You can check that out. If you haven't taken the course yet, the free Ditch Auto course that helps you get out of automatic mode or any of those other kind of half automatic modes and get you into full manual, that's definitely going to be an area that's going to be important, I think, for shooting food as you decide to control the exposure and decide to control the depth of field with your aperture. And then use the ISO to maybe help get your exposure there as well, depending on your shooting environment. Learning how to shoot in manual is definitely going to help you with a challenge like this, and the free course that's available is down in the description below, so make sure to check that out. Thanks so much for checking out this week's challenge. I hope you have fun sharing some of the stuff that you eat with the rest of us in a creative way. Make sure to share your photo in the Ditch Auto Facebook group when you're done. The link is in the description below for that as well. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing what you guys are eating and the photos that you come up with in the Facebook group. Take care.